Be me, 39, CEO, plus co-founder of a SaaS startup in Seattle companies called Task Harbor. We sell project management software for remote teams who pretend Slack is a personality. Series B closed last year, about $21 million sitting in the bank account like a warm blanket. 92 employees. Now my cap table says I own 32%, worth like $14 million on paper. If you believe venture math, been grinding on this thing for 7 years. Ate ramen, maxed cards, slept under my desk. During the cursed early days finally hit actual product market fit. Revenue growing approximately 38% year over year. We're at $4.7 million. ARR forecast says $9 million by end of year. If nothing explodes live in a converted loft in South Lake Union, exposed brick, stupid expensive, smells faintly like cold brew, and ambition drive a lucid air. Because I'm that guy now. Wardrobe is all neutral tones and minimalist brands that cost too much for plain fabric. Curated tech feminist vibe. Even though I'm a dude, LinkedIn bio basically says I'm building the future of work, one inclusive team at a time. Get invited to DEI panels and founder chats, small Twitter following that mostly yells at other founders. Being the face of the company is like being a mascot with a calendar. My co-founder is Ethan, 42. He's the CTO. He built the original product, wrote the first 60,000 lines of code, like some monk copying scripture. Not a people person. Classic engineer brain lives in hoodies and beat up New Balances, works 70-plus hour weeks, without blinking, barely speaks in meetings, just stares, then goes back to coding. We've had tension for years, the classic CEO versus CTO tug of war. I want speed pivot when the market twitches, ship features, chase growth. He wants refactors optimization, pay down tech debt. Do it right, even if that means doing it slow. I'm out doing podcasts, courting investors, pretending I enjoy networking. He's in a windowless room at 2:17 a.m. hunting down some production bug, like it's personal. Honestly, always felt like he doesn't respect me in board meetings. He'll just flatly contradict me on technical stuff. No softening, no, let's discuss, just, that won't work, or that's not possible. Makes me look clueless in front of people who wire us. Millions feels like he's cutting my legs out from under me. I bring it up in our one-ones. He does the little shrug thing. I'm not trying to undermine you. I'm just stating facts. Yeah, cool. Your facts still make me look stupid. Like, yes, he knows more about code than I do. But I'm the CEO. My job is direction and momentum. Leadership isn't supposed to get steamrolled by the guy who can explain Kubernetes lately. It's gotten worse, way worse. We hire a new engineering manager, woman named Vanessa, 30, MIT grad, smart, ambitious, communicates like a normal human. Everything. Ethan isn't. I clock her immediately as future leadership material could be. VP engineering someday, if she keeps it up. But Ethan keeps shooting her down, rejects her proposals, shuts down her ideas, mid-sentence treats her like an intern, asking dumb questions. Vanessa starts coming to me after meetings, frustrated eyes red, voice shaky, not full sobbing, but close enough that it makes my stomach twist. She's like, he won't even listen, and he just decides it's not a priority, and that's the end of it. I try to bring her suggestions to Ethan myself. Same wall, not important right now. Engineering meetings get worse too. I'll raise a concern about timelines or resourcing. He talks over me, dismisses it, keeps going like I didn't speak. It's so consistent. It starts feeling scripted in my head. I'm like, this is textbook, toxic, tech, bro, gatekeeping, protecting his territory, keeping women in support roles, the whole gross pattern. I start documenting it, dates, quotes, who was there, screenshots of Slack threads, little notes in a private folder, like I'm building a murder board while that's happening. I'm pushing culture changes hard, making it happen on purpose. Hire a VP of People and Culture woman named Lauren, 41, very progressive, very polished, speaks in complete sentences that end with accountability. She rolls out new policies, fast, inclusive language, guidelines, bias training, mandatory sessions on allyship, bystander intervention, how to call out microaggressions without getting HR'd. Your self-engineers hate it immediately. Of course they do. They always treat any change like it's a ransomware attack. Ethan, especially after the first training, he emails me. Subject line, training body is basically, that was a waste of 4 hours. We have a product to build. The team is already stretched thin. They should be coding, not sitting in seminars. No hello, no nuance, just contempt. I forward it to Lauren with one line, this is what I'm dealing with. Because, yeah, this is the problem. In one email, fast forward to board meeting in early April, I'm presenting Q. One numbers. Revenue is a bit behind plan, not catastrophic, not we're dead, but enough that everyone does. That quiet investor frown. We're trending up though, so I sell it as a temporary dip. Then Ethan presents the engineering roadmap. It's conservative as hell. Spend Q2 on infrastructure, pay down technical debt. The code base is fragile, too many production incidents. Customers complaining, on-call rotations, turning into trauma. Bonding one board member, older guy named Richard, asks the obvious thing. Can't you do infrastructure and still ship new features? Ethan doesn't even hesitate. Shakes his head like he's tired of explaining gravity. Not with current headcount and sprint capacity. We're at roughly 80% utilization. We either slow feature work or we hire more. I jump in immediately. We can do both. We have the funding. We have runway. We need to move faster. Because that's my whole job. Push forward, Ethan just looks at me with that exhausted dad expression and goes, you can't make software faster by throwing more people at it. Hiring slows us down short term. That's not how this works. Richard looks between us like he's watching a tennis match in a language he doesn't speak. I feel my face get hot. I can literally feel myself shrinking in the room like, great, the CTO. Just corrected me in front of everyone. Again, meeting ends. I'm smiling and shaking hands and doing the CEO thing inside. I'm boiling afterward. I pull Ethan aside in the hallway, quiet corner, by the stupid kombucha, taps. I go, low voice, tight jaw. You made me look like an idiot in there. He doesn't flinch. I told them the technical reality. I say, your technical reality makes it look like I'm clueless. It undermines my leadership. He says, flat as a wall. Reality isn't undermining you. You're undermining yourself by promising things we can't deliver. Something in me snaps clean, not yelling, just this cold, clear click. That's it. That's the moment I decide he has to go. Not today can't just fire a co-founder, CTO, without detonating the company, but the decision gets made, right there. I start laying groundwork immediately, one-on-one calls with board members, coffee, catch-ups that are absolutely not catch-ups. I frame it carefully. Ethan's conservative approach is holding us back. He's not aligned with where the company is going. He's resisting our culture initiatives. He's becoming a risk. Some board members push back. He built the product. He knows the system better than anyone. And yeah, that's true. Others are more sympathetic, especially the newer folks who don't have history with him. I pitch it as growth versus stagnation, future versus past inclusive leadership versus toxic bottleneck. Meanwhile, I'm building up Vanessa, giving her visibility, pulling her into higher-level conversations, inviting her to sit in on board meetings, to present pieces of her plans, making sure people see a competent alternative standing right there in the light. Start putting Vanessa on customer calls, not the fake check-in ones, either real customers with real complaints and real budgets. She crushes it. Clear, calm, actually listens. Answers. Questions without spiraling into nerd monologues. Clients love her. She sounds confident in a way that reads like, adult in the room. I make sure the board hears about it casually, of course. Yeah, Vanessa's been a huge win. Customers respond really well to her. Start gently floating the thought. What if Vanessa takes on more technical leadership? Board gets that interested look. They can't deny she's sharp and she can talk like a human. But everyone also knows the awkward part. She's only been here like 9 months. Ethan literally wrote the first version of everything he's stitched into the product, like scar tissue. Then April hands me a gift, another incident perfect for the story I've been building. Vanessa proposes a big architectural shift. Full microservices migration touches basically every part of the code base. She estimates around 5 months of work. If the team commits, she presents it at an engineering. All hands slides look great. All the buzzwords, decoupling, scalability, service boundaries, future-proofing, the kind of stuff that makes non-technical execs nod like they understand it. Ethan actually listens, asks a few questions, even seems engaged for once. Then he does the Ethan thing, calm voice, knife sentence. No, not right now. He goes into his reasoning, we don't have the stability to do this. Safely, microservices add operational complexity. We're not ready to run that kind of distributed system. Table it for a year. Focus on stability. First, Vanessa looks like someone unplugged, her devastated, humiliated in front of the whole org. She's convinced he's blocking her because he doesn't want her leading anything, and she's not crazy for feeling that he is blocking her, just for technical reasons. Not politics, but feelings don't care about root. 'Cause she comes to my office later, closes the door, voice tight. He's never going to let me run anything meaningful. She stares at the floor. I'm thinking about leaving. I can't grow here with him as CTO. And there it is. My opening, wrapped in a bow, I keep my face neutral, like I'm just exploring options. What if he wasn't CTO anymore? She snaps her head up, eyes wide. What do you mean? I lean back like I'm pitching a totally normal idea. I mean, what if you were CTO? What if you led engineering? She goes quiet. You can see her brain buffering, then she whispers the obvious. He's a co-founder. You can't just fire him. Let me worry about that. Pause. Would you even want the role? She hesitates, then the ambition wins. Yes, obviously, but I don't have his experience. I hit her with the line I already rehearsed. You have the right leadership style. That matters more than years spent staring at logs. She doesn't fully believe me, but she wants to. Next 2 weeks I go full operator mode, building the case. Like I'm prepping for trial document every time Ethan contradicted me in meetings, every time he brushed off culture initiatives, every time he shut down Vanessa or other women engineers. I take all the scattered annoyances and frame them as a pattern. Hostile environment, gatekeeping, toxic masculinity, resistance to feedback. It's not even hard because he hands me receipts constantly. I rope in Lauren, our VP people in culture, ask her for a formal write-up. She delivers. HR poetry. CTO exhibits concerning behaviors indicative of gatekeeping and resistance to coaching. Multiple female engineers report feeling dismissed or undermined. Leadership style is incongruent with company values around inclusion and psychological safety. Translation. He's a problem, and we should remove him. It's beautiful schedule. A special board session for early May. Agenda says leadership and technical direction. Ethan thinks it's about hiring plans like headcount and roadmap tweaks. He walks in normal hoodie, laptop, blank expression. Doesn't know he's stepping into a guillotine. I present my deck, 27 slides professionally designed, clean fonts, the kind of presentation that screams, this was inevitable, slide after slide of concerning patterns. From technical leadership, cultural misalignment, risk, to retention of diverse talent specifically. Vanessa Wise show, dates, quotes, summaries of complaints, Slack screenshots with names blurred, and Lauren backs me up, calm, HR voice. From a people risk standpoint, this is unsustainable. We are at serious risk of losing top performers. Ethan sits there stone-faced, but you can see it in his eyes the moment it clicks what this actually is. Then one of the board guys, Miles, finally speaks. These are serious allegations, but Ethan built the product. He's been here since day one. Is there a way to address the behavior without removing him? And here comes my trump card. I keep my tone level. This also impacts fundraising. We're heading toward a Series C in the next cycle. Every investor meeting I take, they ask about leadership demographics. An all-male technical exec stack is a liability in this market. Progressive leadership matters. It's part of the story we sell. One of the board members, a woman named Denise, nods hard. That's real. Diversity is absolutely a funding factor right now. And now Ethan finally talks quiet, controlled, like he's holding himself together with duct tape. Let me make sure I understand. You're removing me because I'm a man, and because I made technical calls you didn't like. I don't blink, I'm ready for it. That's a reductive, defensive interpretation. This is about leadership approach, cultural alignment, and a growth mindset. He stares at me, and something in his expression cracks. Not tears, just disbelief turning into pain. I've worked 70-hour weeks for years building this. I kept the product alive. I built the team. I fixed every crisis at 3 a.m. And you're firing me because I said no a few times. Miles asks the practical question. Okay, if we do this, how does the transition work? Who takes over? I don't hesitate. Vanessa steps up as CTO. She's ready. Ethan actually laughs, not happy, just bitter. She's been here 9 months. She's never built a system from scratch. She's never scaled this architecture. She's a great engineer, but she's not ready to be CTO. Denise jumps in immediately. That sounds like gatekeeping, Ethan. Maybe that's exactly the mindset we need to move past. And then it happens, the vote 3-2, me, Denise, and one swing member, who always backs the CEO, Miles, and another guy vote no. But they lose. Ethan is offered a strategic advisor role, which is board speak for, please don't burn the house down on your way out. He declines instantly. I'm not going to sit here and watch you wreck what I built. He signs the separation and paperwork, keeps what's vested, lawyers do their little dance, and then he just walks out, no dramatic speech, no slam door, just gone. I feel relief first, like I can finally breathe, then guilt punches in right after, so I shove it down, tell myself the same story. I've been telling everyone else, this was necessary, this was evolution, this was the company growing up. Next day we announce it, company-wide, carefully worded email, PR, grade, bland. Ethan is stepping down as CTO to pursue other opportunities. We are excited to announce Vanessa as our new CTO. This reflects our commitment to diverse, inclusive leadership. Hit send watch. Slack like it's a heart monitor. Engineering channels go dead quiet, no memes, no little reaction, emojis, just silence like someone unplugged the office. Vanessa accepts the role, starts immediately. She's nervous as hell, but trying to look excited, I pull her aside and give her the pep talk I'm supposed to give. You're ready. I believe in you. Ignore the doubters. Just prove it with results. Week 1 with Vanessa as CTO. Total honeymoon phase. She's suddenly in every meeting, talking like she's been running the place for years, making calls, setting direction, people nodding like, yep, that's the boss. Now, first big move. She greenlights the microservices migration. She pitched engineering, starts mapping it out immediately. Then she approves 3 other massive initiatives. She's been pushing new deployment, pipeline rewriting, chunks of auth, some modernization project. That basically means touching everything. I'm ecstatic. This is the velocity I wanted. This is what moving fast is supposed to look like. We're finally not being held hostage by the guy who says no to everything. Week 2, first production incident hits, and it's not a cute one. Major bug in payment processing, customers can't upgrade plans. No upgrades means no money, revenue basically pauses. Sales team starts melting down in Slack like it's a live fire drill. Vanessa is in the war room with engineering, everyone staring at dashboards, typing like their keyboards owe them money. Takes a little over 5 hours to fix. Turns out the bug is tied to some old billing code. Ethan wrote ages ago, one of the senior engineers, dude named Mark, is the one who cracks it. He's the quiet guy who actually knows what's happening type. He finally goes, this is a race condition in the billing service. He points at the diff. Ethan put a lock here to prevent this exact thing. Someone removed it during a refactor last week. Vanessa gets defensive instantly. We were cleaning up technical debt. That lock was hurting performance. Mark just looks exhausted. It was hurting performance because it was preventing 2 processes from stepping on each other. The slowdown was the symptom, not the disease. Awkward silence in the war room. Everyone avoids eye contact, like it's a funeral. We patch it, payments come back, incident closed. I send the company-wide email. Great job, team, fast response. Proud of you, standard CEO. Cheerleading, but privately I'm staring at the clock. 5 hours of downtime is brutal. Week 3, another incident database. Migration goes. Sideways, takes down the whole product. Not partial. Everything, dead customers can't. Log in. Support queue explodes. We're down for almost 4 hours. Customers are furious, and this time, it costs us 2 big accounts. Finally, churn. They were already flirting with. Leaving outage pushes them over the edge, about $55,000. ARR evaporates in a day. Engineering is stressed out, on-call looks like a hostage situation. People working until their eyes go glassy. Mark asks to talk privately, like actually books time on my calendar. We sit in a little meeting room with a whiteboard nobody uses. He's careful at first. I'm worried about the technical direction. We're changing too much too fast. The microservices migration should wait until we're stable. I get defensive immediately because that's what I do. Vanessa is the CTO. She makes those calls. Mark nods. I know. Then he adds the real point. She's new. She doesn't know this codebase like Ethan did. And I snap right into the frame I've been living in. So you're saying she's not qualified because she's a woman? Mark looks like I slapped him. What? No. I'm saying she's new. That's literally a fact. I lean forward, cold voice. It sounds like you're undermining her because of bias. He throws his hands up. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to prevent more outages. I cut him off. Then support your CTO. Or find somewhere else to work. He leaves looking completely drained, and for like 10 minutes I feel powerful, righteous. Like I defended progress against the old guard. Month 2 things start deteriorating fast. We rack up 9 production incidents in 5 weeks. We used to average 1 per month. Now it feels like there's a new fire every other day. Customers start saying the word reliability in that threatening tone. Churn ticks up support team, is begging engineering to stop breaking things. Engineering is working nights and weekends. Morale tanks. It's palpable, like walking into a room where everyone's holding their breath. Then the resignations start. 3 senior engineers quit, all guys. All Ethan's original hires. They don't even give real reasons. Just that bland HR line, pursuing other opportunities. No feedback, no exit drama. Just gone. And that scares me more than yelling would, because it means they've emotionally checked out. I start panicking internally, but I can't show it if the CEO freaks out. Everyone freaks out. So I double down on supporting Vanessa publicly. The problem is, she's drowning. She's clearly over her head, working like 80 hours a week. But she won't admit it, won't ask for help, won't slow down. She just pushes harder, approves more initiatives, more changes, like she's trying to outrun doubt with velocity, codebase, starts feeling unstable, random things, break systems that never used to hiccup, suddenly fall over, and everyone's exhausted. Month 3, catastrophic failure, Friday afternoon, around 1:50 p.m. Whole platform goes down. Not some customers impacted, total failure. Everything offline, errors everywhere. Then we realize the scary part. Database corruption, and because we've been slicing things into services, it turns into cascading failures across everything. One service can't talk to, another queues. Jam retries pile up, logs become unreadable noise. Nobody knows where to even start. Vanessa is in full panic mode, trying to lead. While her hands shake, the remaining senior engineers are doing hail. Mary fixes rolling back, restarting, trying to restore snapshots. Nothing sticks. Hours pass, customers are screaming, support team is copy-pasting, apologies like robots. Sales is losing deals. In real time, people start tweeting about it, then bigger accounts tweet about it. Then tech Twitter piles on. And sure enough, some tech blog picks it up. Task Harbor suffers major outage. Customers unable to access platform, like cool public humiliation on top of financial bleeding, Saturday morning, still down. And at that point, it's not an outage, it's a disaster. Vanessa finally breaks, voice-cracked eyes red. She says it out loud in the war room. I don't know how to fix this. The architecture is more complex than I understood. Mark is still here somehow, one of the only seniors who hasn't quit yet. He speaks up, carefully. We need Ethan. He's the only one who knows this system deeply enough. I immediately resist pure instinct. Absolutely not. We can figure this out. Mark doesn't even argue. Emotionally just states it like math. We've been trying for 17 hours. We need him. Another engineer backs him up. He built this. He'll know what's wrong. Vanessa is crying now, exhausted, humiliated, barely holding it together. Someone says it again. Call him. So I do. I call. Ethan goes to voicemail. I call again, nothing. I text him, emergency, platform is down, need your help. An hour later, he responds, not my problem anymore. I text back instantly, Please, customers are suffering. Company is at risk, he replies. You fired me. Then he adds the knife twist. You said Vanessa was ready. Sounds like you made your choice. I'm desperate now. I offer money. We'll pay your consulting rate. Whatever you want, he responds. Not interested. Good luck. Then my next message doesn't deliver. Realize he blocked my number, and that's when it hits. I'm done Sunday morning, almost 2 full days, like 46 to 48 hours of downtime. This is company ending territory. Board calls. An emergency meeting, investors are panicking, big customers are demanding refunds, some are threatening lawsuits. My inbox is a graveyard. We finally get the platform limping back online. Sunday night, it's not even a victory, it's just the bleeding stops and everyone is staring at the wreckage, trying to pretend we aren't in deep trouble by the time the platform was actually stable. Again, not limping, not some users can log in, stable. It was basically 3 days around 70-something hours of downtime, total absolute apocalypse weekend. We lose like 29% of our customer base in one shot. People don't wait it out. When their ops tool is dead, for that long they export, screenshot, rage. And Churn Rough Math says we vaporized about $1.05 million in ARR. And that's before refunds and the legal letters and the credits we hand out to stop lawsuits. Engineering is a crater. Everyone looks like they age 5 years. The next week, more people quit. No speeches, just calendar invites with HR, and then they disappear. Vanessa resigns too. She comes into my office like she's walking to an execution. Eyes puffy, voice small. I'm not cut out for this. I'm sorry. And she's right, she wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for her, not being ready. I set her up to eat a grenade, but I can't say any of that out loud. So I do the executive thing. Nod. I understand. Accept the resignation. Tell her we appreciate her. Tell her we'll support her. Transition. Monday morning is an emergency board meeting. Not a normal one, no. Smiles, no small talk. Just a room full of people staring at spreadsheets like they're crime scene photos. It's a massacre. First question is basically, how did this happen? Second question is, how did we let this happen? Miles is furious, like actually red in the face. We fired the CTO who understood the system. We replaced him with someone with less than a year in the company. And now we lost a third of revenue in a weekend. He says it slowly like I'm 5. Denise, who voted with me back then, looks sick, hands clasped, can't meet anyone's eyes. Someone else says what? Nobody wants to say. We need Ethan back. Denise even nods. Offer him whatever he wants. So, I do the humiliating thing. I call him from a different number. Because he blocked mine, he actually picks up quiet hello, like he knows exactly who it is. Ethan, it's me. We need to talk. Long pause, then he goes. No. We don't. I push through it anyway. The board wants to bring you back. CTO again. Silence. I don't want to come back. I start bargaining like a desperate ex. We'll increase your equity. You can have full control. Whatever you want. He laughs, not amused, just cold. You kicked me out for being a toxic male. Now you want me back because your diversity pick couldn't do the job. I want to argue the wording, but he's not wrong enough for it to matter, so I just say it. It was a mistake. I made a mistake. The company needs you. He doesn't even raise his voice. The company needed me 3 months ago. You chose politics over competence. Now you're living with it. Click line dead. I call back straight to voicemail. Text doesn't deliver, blocked again. Board meets, again, later that week. Shorter meeting, colder. They vote to remove me as CEO, install an interim, some turnaround operator, with a grim resume. I get offered a founder-in-residence role, which is like being fired with a blanket and a pat on the head. My equity's still technically there, but the company is bleeding out. Valuation collapses. Series C gets quietly canceled. Nobody wants to touch us. We're down to like 38 employees. All the best people are gone. The ones left are either loyal, stuck, or updating their resumes in secret. 3 months later, we run out of money. We try to raise. Nobody bites. Revenue is too damaged. Reputation is radioactive. We get acquired for parts by a competitor. Some bigger project tool that just wants our customer list, and whatever code still works. Deal is like $3.4 million, barely covers debts. An investor prefs. My 32% stake goes from $14 million on paper to basically nothing after lawyers and preferences and everything I get. Maybe $120,000 if I'm lucky, from I'm set for life to cool, I can pay taxes and rent for a bit. I'm 40-ish unemployed, startup dead, reputation shredded, and the tech blogs absolutely eat it. Headlines like Task Harbor collapses after leadership shakeup, CTO ousted, replaced by inexperienced exec, outage spirals into failure. I become a neat little story people share in founder group chats. Try to get another CEO gig. Investors won't touch me. They don't even pretend it's about fit. It's direct. You pushed out your technical co-founder and destroyed the company. Try to pitch a new startup, same reaction. You chose ideology over execution. That's not a bet we're making. 6 months after the collapse, I'm doom scrolling and see Ethan on TechCrunch. He's already starting a new company, raised a Series A, like $9 million from top-tier VCs, same circles that won't return my emails. He's smiling in the photo. New hoodie, new logo. Caption calls him a technical founder, like it's a magic spell. 9 months later, I see Vanessa on LinkedIn. She's back at a big tech company, senior/staff engineer. Track title says staff engineer, not CTO, not even management. She looks normal, like she escaped a car crash and walked away. Honestly, good for her. She never should have been in that chair. And that's on me. 1 year after everything imploded, I'm in a smaller apartment. Sold. The Lucid couldn't justify the payment when the world stopped clapping, doing consulting for early-stage startups, charging like $175 an hour when I can land work. But it's inconsistent. Some months are great. Some months, I'm refreshing my inbox like a teenager waiting for a crush to text back. Annualized, it's like $65,000, used to pull $210,000 salary, plus the illusion of equity. Then I go to a women in tech conference used to speak at. Those used to have a badge that got me backstage and free lattes. Now I'm just attending, standing in the crowd with a tote bag. Nobody recognizes me, or they do and pretend they don't. I run into another founder from the old circuit woman named Monica. We used to do panels together. She smiles the polite smile. Hey, I heard about Task Harbor. That's rough. I do the rehearsed line. Yeah. It didn't work out. She tilts her head. Can I ask what happened? Like, what really happened? And I'm tired of spinning the story I built. Tired of acting like it was all inevitable. So I just say it. I fired my CTO because he disagreed with me and I took it personally. And because promoting Vanessa felt progressive and right. Monica doesn't interrupt, just listens, so I keep going. She wasn't ready. I knew she wasn't ready. But I convinced myself confidence mattered more than experience. My voice catches a little, and I wrecked a company because I couldn't separate optics from operations. She nods slowly, not judgmental, just absorbing it. That's really honest, she says. I laugh once, no humor in it. It's the truth. I was an idiot. I got ideological. And like 40 people lost jobs because of my ego. We talk a bit longer. She's kind, doesn't pile on, but I can see the calculation in her eyes anyway. The same one everyone makes now, don't get too close, don't be associated, career contamination. I walk home alone afterward, cold air, streetlights, that empty conference badge feeling, and my brain just replays everything Ethan pulling 2 a.m. Fixes while I booked podcasts. Ethan babysitting production. While I tweeted about values, Ethan saying this will break, and me labeling it resistance. He was right about basically every technical warning every time he said no, every time he slowed us down, and I couldn't hear it because I was so sure I was the adult, so sure his maleness was the core issue, so sure Vanessa could do it because I wanted her to, and it cost me everything, cost everyone, everything. Product gets shut down. Eventually, customers get the please migrate, email, support, inbox, goes quiet. Employees scatter to other companies, all that time, all that potential gone in a few months. Because I yanked out the person holding the wiring together and replaced him with someone who didn't know where the breakers were. Not because she was a woman. Not really, she could have been great someday, but because I prioritized what it looked like over what it actually was. Because I wanted the story more than I wanted stability. Because I thought leadership meant saying yes. Loudly turns out, leadership also means making sure the damn product works. Customers don't care about your values. Deck when they can't log in. They care that their team can ship work on Monday, 2 years later. I'm full-time at a consulting firm, not my firm, someone else's. I'm an employee, again title says senior advisor, which is code for former founder who flamed out. Making like $95,000, health insurance 4%, 401, K-match, normal job, fine job. But it's not what I used to be. I used to be the CEO of a venture-backed company, used to be on stage, used to be someone. Now, I'm the guy who fired his CTO and cratered the business. That's the headline attached to my name, and it follows me. I see Ethan's new company again, later announces a Series B, like $27 million hiring spree. I click the job postings, like I'm rubbernecking, crash requirements are all the same stuff he always cared about. Strong technical skills, can handle fast pace, solve hard problems. No language policies, no virtue signaling mission statements, just we hire the best in corporate form. And apparently investors agree, $27 million agrees. Meanwhile, I'm taking the bus to work, one-bedroom apartment. No lucid, no loft, no future of work speeches. Just me, a laptop, and a calendar invite, and every so often I remember his voice in that boardroom, flat and calm. That's not how this works, and how I hated him for it, and how it was still true anyway.